Can you feel the power? Feel the power of double X.
Positive Power 21.org. Internet radio.
You are listening to Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I'm living in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Cherie Owens Live Worldwide.
That's right, you tell them, little buddy. You tell them, you listening to Late Night. Late Night with Cherie Owens Live Worldwide and the beautiful Kimmie Kim out of St. Louis. Welcome, everybody. We hope you had a great weekend. The weather was great. At least on the East Coast, it was great. I had a great time. Worked in the yard with my baby boy. Just like do a little landscaping project. Did a kitchen project and also did, what else I did? I know I did 3 projects. But anyway, we're back, y'all, on Monday night with Kimmie Kim. And I'm Cherie Owens Live Worldwide right here in Maryland, the beautiful, beautiful Charm City, Baltimore. All right, y'all, we got a great guest tonight. That's right, she's the author of Fresh Wind, When Fear Knocks Down Faith to Answer. That's powerful. That's right, Dr. Sims is here. So we're going to talk to her. Well, at least Kimmie Kim going to talk to her. But right now, I'm going to talk to Kimmie Kim real quick and see what's going on in Kimmie Kim's world. What's going on in your world? Kimmie Kim, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you, Jerry?
Good. I got some advice not to say Happy Memorial Day, but I saw it in like every store I went to, including my fitness center. It said Happy Memorial Day. It basically is we're honoring the fallen soldiers. So
yeah,
it's not really a happy occasion for those that lost someone close. Yeah. My wife got a chance to go to the cemetery and pay homage to her dad. He served in World War II. Yeah, World War II.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a big ceremony and everything out there. I mean, you get there early, you get to see all that stuff, you know? Yeah.
And you guys are in not too far from D.C., so I'm sure it was very beautiful out there in D.C. So.
Yep, this area. Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, it was pretty hot on, I think it was Saturday. No, it was really hot Sunday. But
Saturday was really nice.
Yeah.
Sunday it got blazing hot here as well.
Yeah, we had like a superstorm on Friday. It was called like tornadoes and stuff, high winds, a lot of rain. But we got a chance to do some much needed outdoor work. Got myself a power washer. I always wanted one of them. Mm-hmm. It was on sale. I had to go get it. Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, I was power washing all the way up until 8:00 tonight. Yeah, I was out there doing the deck. I got to go see what it looks like in the morning. So anyway, did you get a good weekend? Was it good?
I did. I took the podcast off this weekend and just enjoyed the family.
Yeah,
I tend to have to do that sometimes, you know.
Yeah, sometimes you got to take one. You got to take a day for yourself, you know, a holiday, because we always working. You know, we always work.
Yeah, so you get it. You know, we always working.
I know. I did take a little break.
You're doing like TV shows, so I can only imagine that.
I took a break. Well, actually, we supposed to have been taping on Saturday, but the guest had an emergency, so we had to postpone that one. But I got a chance to get out there and do some stuff. You know, wash the cars and play around with my power washer, and I don't know. It was good to have a whole Saturday off, and Sunday I did hardly any social media. You know, I was like ghost man, watching movies. Yeah, I'm not going to tease y'all, but I got a chance to sit in my home theater, enjoy some movies till 3 a.m. You know, so that was kind of stuff we got a chance to do this holiday. Awesome. Yeah, this is kind of like Memorial Day kind of opens the door to the summer. The pools are open now. Seeing kids, you know, coming from the pool. So, you know, ice cream places, all the outdoor ice cream parlors. You know, where you get your snowballs. All them things are open now. It's officially summer to me. This is it. You know, kids are out. Well, at least the college kids are out. I'm not sure about the secondary schools yet, but. I don't know. I say we could put a stamp on this summer. It's summertime. All right. All right. Well, are you ready? I'm sorry.
It's a good time. Yeah. It's a good time to just celebrate,
Yes, right.
It's good to sometimes just spend time with the family, like you said, and unwind.
That's right.
I love it.
Yeah, and also today, my wife and I got a chance to finish celebrating our wedding anniversary. That was in April. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, we got we was trying to prepare for baby girl's graduation and packing both of the kids up from college. All that was on our list. So we kind of we did a little something. We did do like 2 restaurants that day. It was in the middle of the week, but then we had like some gift cards came in. So we said we're going to an expensive restaurant and chill out and have a good time. So that's what we did. So we did that today. So, it was a great weekend. Great weekend. All right. You ready for your guests? You ready to talk to the author of Fresh Wind? When Fear Knocks, Send Faith to the Answer. Is that right? Yeah.
Sure.
That's deep. That's deep stuff right there.
Looking forward to her. I love her bio.
Yeah. So I guess it's Dr. Cherie Owens Sims.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to really talk to Mo today. Like we be always working with scheduling all the time, so I forget to ask about the pronunciation of her guests, our clients. I always forget.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah. I guess
how I am. I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. We're here. We ready to let her in. Hello, Dr. Sims. Welcome to Late Night. How you doing?
I'm great. And you guys?
Yeah.
I'm doing good.
That's right.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to hear.
Well, I listened to James Fortune. I was on there when you guys was interviewing James.
Yeah, that's a good show. Shout out to Round the Clock Entertainment, Clarita Hatton Jackson. She comes on. Sometime we need to fill a space. We appreciate Blue Flame Moments, so you guys can catch that at 11 o'clock pretty much every day of the week, Monday through Thursday on Late Night. So thank you so much for being part of Late Night, and we hope you guys have a great show. I'm just here to say hello and thank you for coming on the show. Amen.
Well, thanks for the invite.
You're welcome. All right, Kimmie Kim, have a great show. I'm right here if you need me.
Thank you so much, Jerry. And once again, thank you so much for this opportunity, Jerry, to be on Positive Powers 21 family. And how you doing, my sister?
I'm great.
You having a great weekend and enjoying this wonderful weather?
Well, I am. I did have loss in my family. I lost a nephew this past week, but I decided to go ahead with the interview. She did tell me I had a choice, and I decided to go ahead, interview. That's what he said. Go ahead.
So sorry for your loss.
Yes.
Well, not loss, but more so,
God,
still not easy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I just want to thank you, Dr. Sims, for this opportunity to have this wonderful fellowshipping time. But before we begin, can you tell the listeners who is Dr. Sims?
I'm Dr. Sims. I'm Pastor Sims. I'm actually a pastor. I'm Dr. Dr. Cherie Sims. I just got ordained in January, associate pastor at the World Shakers International Church here in Atlanta, Georgia. So when you guys, he just said he was here. When you guys in this area, come see us in Lawrenceville, Georgia. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm an author. I host the International Global Move Women Conference, which the umbrella under that is Girl Live, a new girls on the block, new guys on the block. And I just started a nonprofit organization. It's called She Smile, and this year we did She Smile presenting E Smile. And that's dealing with trafficking and stuff like that. A book I got coming out called Get Up. So it's a powerful book, and it's a very interesting story. And believe me, I don't mind coming back and giving that story. That book will come out this year.
Awesome! You are a busy young lady here. I mean, you have an author, you're a pastor, and your bio is definitely amazing to me.
Thank you.
How long have you been writing?
Well, actually, It's very interesting. I started writing. First time I ever wrote anything was I believe I was 21, and it all has to do with that book that's coming out. And I started writing at the age of 21, and I was in prison. So I had shot a guy and went to prison, and I didn't know I was a writer, and I wrote my first song there. And it was self-defense, and I stayed there almost a year to find out I was free to go the very next day, which I came out delivered, and I learned then. It was there when I learned that I was a writer. I have my first play coming to the studios this year, actually just coming to the theater. My first time ever doing a play at the theater. It's going to be called Order in the Church, and I've been writing plays for the last 25 years. And the amazing people come, and I messed around and wrote one here in Georgia, and the producer was there, and they thought, wow, you don't get in the theaters. So I'm excited about what God is doing. I wrote my first book. I actually have 3 books out. Fresh Wind. I did another book called 70 Words, Fresh Wind, 70 Words Faith Journal. And then I did What It Mean to Pray Through book. And I'm actually literally working on my main book called Get Up. At the age of 16, I was kidnapped by a pimp, raped out over 100 times. A police officer strangled me to death, ran door to door butt naked. And finally, one little quarter saved my life. I ended up making a phone call 2 weeks later. One of my sisters answered, and I made it home. And to make a long story short, I host the International Global Move, pulling down strongholds and men and women. And that's what my nonprofit organization is about. She Smile, present He Smile, because there's a lot of that goes on trafficking. And I've been doing this for the last 25 years.
Wow, you do have an amazing story, because I'm reading here that Dr. Sims graduated from Cornerstone High School at the age of 42. I was like, wow, you are an amazing person. You didn't give up.
No. You have to fight.
Wow. And you received your master's, and now you're writing, and you are a wife and grandmother, and you have grandchildren. How do you make time for yourself?
I actually received a doctoral degree at the age of 49.
Wow.
I literally, I have a lot of time to myself, because a lot of things I do, like my writing, is all done right here at home. Like, I'm going to write a little tonight after we get off. I'm working on my play, because I'm going to have my first casting call worldwide. And I just write. I got, like, probably, if I would pick up all my writing from the last 10 years, I probably got about 10 books already written. So I pretty much a homebody, pretty much be at home a lot. And I just write. And through the pandemic, I had plenty of time to write.
Oh, wow. So tell us more about this casting call that's going on, about your play that's coming up. Would it be in Georgia as well?
Yes, it's going to be in Georgia, but I'm praying that this would be the one. So God gave me this a couple of years ago. My mom had got really sick. I lost my mom in 2018, lost my dad in 2020. But God had gave me, on the way home from seeing my mom, God had gave me, he said, I want you to do a play called Order in the Church. And this right before the pandemic came. And you know how we do. We mess around and don't get it done. And then all of a sudden the pandemic came. All I can think of is how it hit the churches and stuff. And then I had shared it with my mom. God gave me a play to write. I was telling my daughter on the way home, it's called Order in the Church. So now I'm really putting my heart into this play, because I know God gave me that before the pandemic. And sometimes we procrastinate. And I just know I did a play here, and producers came after me. They offered me money to do tours. I turned it down because God told me to come here and find out. I relocated to Atlanta from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I came here to take a play to the theaters. And I haven't did it, and I've been here 10 years, but I'm finally going to get this play in the theaters. I'm finally going to get rid of the theater. That's why I say when my Facebook say, when fear knocks and faith answers, I'm finally taking Order to the Church to the theaters. And I'm going to direct it. I'm going to do everything because God told me to step out and find out. He told me don't let nobody do it. It's something God want to show me in it. And so you ain't going to know win or lose. I'm doing this here at the theaters, and I'm going to do it where I tried to cheat. I tried to do a local casting call, because it felt safer. But no, God messed that all up. I did the casting call, but God said, that ain't what I told you. I said, worldwide. So I'm going to step out and find out. I'm going to do a worldwide casting call. I'm going to step out into the deep, win or lose. I got nothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You have so much to talk about, and we only have 30 minutes. I mean, I love the fact that you married the love of your life and Fresh Wind. I see this as one of your major books. And then you're writing a major play. And what keeps you going when you're having many hats to fulfill?
Well, what keeps me going is the fight. I got my fight when I made it through that hard time at the age of 16 when I was getting out. But I had got a determination because after I got home, I hid that secret for years, and I was hospitalized for years back and forth due to the back sets and stuff. So nobody knew, and my family didn't even know until years later. So what kept me going is I always said, I'm going to fight because I want my kids to know to fight. And I have a great support team. I have my children, and as well as my family. I have a very close family, so I have all my sisters, my brother, my children, my husband. I have a support team. My family in general, I have a support team. But a lot of families are not close or don't get along. It ain't no family perfect. Ours not perfect, but we love, our love for each other is perfect. And I have a great, amazing support team. My husband, my kids, anything I do it in conference, my sisters will fly in and they support what I do. And I do this here to show my kids one day that, no matter what obstacles get in your way, you fight. And I show you can fight. So what? I graduated from high school at 42. That means you can still do it. I'm finna go on 60, and I don't look like what I've been through. I look like I'm about to go on 40, And my kids be laughing right now. They probably on here cracking up because they think I think I'm like that anyway. But I'm telling you, I have my grandkids. I have some grown grandkids now. I have an amazing team.
That's awesome. I love that because family is important, Not only family that you're grown up with or that you know all your life, but also your spiritual family. That is so important so that we can, and it's awesome that you were able to overcome the early times in your life. Do you mind giving us a little glimpse of what happened when you were 16 so that it can be helpful for those who are going through the same thing? Because kidnapping is a serious thing. And unfortunately, there's a lot of sex trafficking that goes on, too.
Yes. Well, I sure will. And just so you can know, my pastors, Pastor P.D. and Lady K, they my pastor, that's my daughter, my oldest child. So
wow.
my spiritual parents. They my spiritual parents. They don't like me to say I can say the kid, but that's my spiritual parents. And so it's amazing. I'm able to serve under them as associate pastor at the World Sacred Church. So yeah, I'd love to tell you a little about it. At the age of 16, I'll never forget it. My mom was out of town. I was staying at my second oldest sister's house. I went to school that day, and I missed my bus coming home. And for the first time, school was on the south side, and for the first time, I had to take a city bus from that school, and it was way out. And I really didn't know how to take that bus home. And so they was trying to walk me through how to do it. So make a long story short, I got on the bus and I got on the wrong bus and I had to get off. So they told me just ask the bus driver. So he told me we was going to end up on State Street. So I knew how to get to State Street and make it home from there. I just didn't know my way around. So when I made it to State Street, it was a prison by there. So I guess it was so many people that got out of prison or whatever, or got out that day to the bus was so full. And I never forget, was nowhere to sit. And this guy, when everybody, a lot of people got off and one of them stopped, and this guy told me to sit down, and I didn't want to. I never forget. I was so scared, and I didn't want to, but he kept telling me, I'm not going to do nothing to you. I'm not going to do anything to you. So, and it's funny how it happened. He talked to me, and he kept telling me he was my friend. Now, I'm telling this in my book. I don't know why it meant so much to me to have a friend. So he told me he was a friend. I told him I couldn't talk to Ben. I was a virgin, so I had never had sex or anything. And he was telling me he was my friend. So to make a long story short, he tricked me into giving me my phone number and said he'd be my friend. I said, I can't have a phone call. I can't talk to me. He said, when I hear your voice, I know you're my friend voice. He kept saying the word friend. And I answered. So he called me, and I had told him so much that my parents was out of town. My sister I was living with was at work. He knew too much information. So then he talked me into, he said he enjoyed being my friend and talking. He said, he asked me what time was on my bus pass. And see, I tell the story in my book because it's so serious not to let nobody call you. He lured me back out of my house. He called on somewhere in there. He figured out that word friend was doing something. So he tricked me into that. And so I end up going and never made it back home. And the funny thing is, the first day I was there, his mother was there, and she asked me, how old are you? You look like a baby. And I was finna tell her I was 16. He said 18. And so immediately I started getting scared. And I was like, oh, I got to get home. And this is so funny. He tricked me with the time, so I missed the bus. And so now I was scared to call my sister. So at this time, he hadn't bothered me. His parents were there, but the next day they went to work. So I said, okay, I knew if I get to my mother, you know how you always know if you get to your mother, you'll be safe. I said, my dad used to drink, so I said, I don't want to get no whooping. So I did not want that whooping, but I'm telling in my book, I wish I had got that last whooping, because he did take me to the phone booth and let me dial home. And when I called home, my daddy answered, and I panicked, and I said, I'm going to get a whooping. They made it back in town. I hung up. I said, I'll wait until 12 and call my mother. That's the worst thing I could ever did. So at 12 o'clock, around that time, he told me he wanted to show me the upstairs. And he took me up there, and he went in a room, and he left me in the kitchen for about 10, 15, 20 minutes. And I asked him what was going on, and he told me to be quiet. He turned into a mean man, and he had been to hangers, so I thought maybe he had a car and locked the key in the car. He had literally burnt that hanger and told me, this is what I put up my prostitutes when they don't do what I say do. So I knew immediately I was going to get raped. And then after that, he raped me all day at the house. And then before his parents got home, he took me to another house where his brother had a 16-year-old, but she was 18. She said they had her since she was 16, though. And he stood at a room door, and he would let men come in all day, every day, and rape me. And she told me if I run for it, because he had all my information, he said he would kill my parents and my family. So I thought I was staying to try to save my family. And then one day, he got to a guy, and that guy was a police officer, and he didn't want me at the house. He told me he wanted to take me himself, so he allowed me to go. And this one raped me, and then because I told him my family was rich, and they would give him money, and he had already raped me, and I said, I'm the little girl they looking for dead or alive. He knew then he had to kill me, so he's the one that strangled me to death and stripped me butt naked. And then when I woke back up, he was finna leave me in the alley. I saw a knife in his hand and a green bag, so he was finna cut me up, put me in the bag. But he heard some noise, but he knew I was dead, and he didn't think it was me. And when he looked up, I was running down the alley butt naked. I went door to door butt naked, and I heard God for the first time say, "Turn the doorknob." And I ran into somebody's house. He screamed, she screamed, and I screamed. They put me on some overalls. They didn't call the police, and they put me outside. I turned the corner. I was back into the hands of the pimp for one more week. And I remember almost getting hit by an 18-wheeler, and I ran about a block, and then I repented and told God I was just ready to die. And then he had me one more week, and so I just tricked him. I met a little Caucasian girl in the bathroom. I tricked him. I told him I thought she had a quarter. I was able to call home. My older sister answered, and I told her where I was, and she came there, and I ran for my life. I told him I think I was big enough to do what the other girls was doing, and he trusted me. And my sister pulled up. I jumped in the car. She took off, and she was headed home. And I remember her telling me, you're not going to get a whooping. And I remember saying in my head, I'm not taking another whooping. And so it was amazing when I got home. You know, my mom, you know, they was all there. My family was all there. And, you know, in the book, to tell the rest, is coming out this year.
Oh, wow. Please.
Because I kept trying to make it sound cute. So it would have been, I kept trying to make it sound cute. But it ain't going to sound cute.
Stories.
The whole story.
Oh, wow. You are an amazing soul. I mean, you have a story that, oh, my goodness. God was definitely with you. Oh, my goodness.
Well, through me telling my story, I found out that my kid's uncle had raped them. And one of them from 2 to 11, which blessed me to put that in my book. And she was able to face him a couple of years ago. The other one is okay. But, the fact that he did it, and then a lot of people have given their life to the Lord. Just this here past year, a young man came and spoke at my conference from 2 to 11, 5 to 11, 22. His daddy raped him, his own blood daddy. So through sometimes God take what you've been through in your life to deliver others. And so
other people.
I vow that I will travel the world doing this. And this would be the rest of my life. I vow that I will put down souls and men and women in the international global move. Is hosting now the She Smile Present He Smile, and that's a nonprofit organization. And I'm praying to God that people sponsor it in a big way because it's winning these people back.
Wow, my sister, I'm just like my mouth is wide open. I'm like, wow, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm just so grateful God had his hand on you and he protected you. And I know just for you to share that story, because I know when you share it, it takes you back to what you went through. And just knowing that you still got this wonderful joy in your tone is amazing to me. And I know you are blessing.
And I'm healed. Like right now in my conference, what I did, I brought a psychiatrist in this past year because I want people to know, stop trying to go into marriage and go into your life without really dealing with that 5-year-old that's been raped or that 6-year-old, that 8-year-old, that 10-year-old. And so I decided I wanted to be healed. And now that God healed me, and yeah, you think about it, today I watched the whole movie and I thought I saw a lady chained up, but come to find out, they was trafficking all the women. So it took me to a place today. It did. So you have your moments, but at the end of the day, you're not who society say you are. You're not. You're the victim, and I know that in my mind, and I have to put that out.
Wow. Woo! You've been on fire and busy for the Lord ever since then.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
I'm excited about it. And I'll be excited to tell the story because somebody comes through every time. Somebody comes forth every time. I started on Clubhouse and I started telling my story. I have hundreds of women that calls me and tell me in the end that they've been raped. They coming forth now. So my biggest thing is to take this she smile and he smile and make sure men and women all over the world know that they could get their smile back. You're the victim, period.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for sharing that story. And wow, kidnapping at 16, and you're a kid yourself, and wow, since then you've been on fire. You married the love of your life. You're doing so many different books, and now you're writing a play. When is that book coming out so I can be looking forward, the one that you're going to talk about your experience at 16?
I plan on releasing this book for my 60th birthday, which would be October the 18th. And okay. I know God gave me some specific instructions for this book, so I do believe it's going to become a movie eventually.
Oh, absolutely. I could see it on Lifetime because those are the type of movies that need to be heard because... and
it's a true story.
Yes, it's a true story, and not only that, you escaped. Wow.
Yes. They called me
wow.
Rain. The Rain contacted me about 20 years ago, and they wanted me to go in the book called Rain, and that's when I understood. They told me I'm a survivor. They said we look for people like you. You're a survivor.
You are.
Not everybody is surviving, and I almost didn't survive it. I spent my life 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 in hospital. I went to hospital every day. I went to paramedics every day, and my family didn't know that. They didn't know because I hid the rape. I hid it. I just hid it. And you know what? That hiding that almost killed me. One day I decided I didn't want to live no more. And I ended up going, after I shot that guy, I know he said the word, he called me a bitch and told me he would strangle me. And I went back to the 16-year-old, and I ended up shooting. So I didn't just shoot him to shoot him. It was what he said to me. So when I got out, I went and signed myself into this nut house, this hospital for that ward. And I thought I'd wake up the next morning and go out, and that doctor would not let me out unless I talked. And that was the best thing that happened to me. He said, I could end all your hospital visits in one day. And I said, how? He said, go let your mom and your family know you've been raped. I said, but that was years. He said, don't matter. You could be healed. No more visits. I kid you not. I kid you not. When I went and told him, I just thought, if I hide it, nobody would never be able to judge me. See, that was the trick of the devil, though. The devil wanted me dead, so he made me think, because I did a lot of running after that. I mean, I would be outside, and the devil tell me, they're coming to kill you. So even though I got home, it didn't stop there. It was paramedics in my life in hospitals and paramedics. I remember my sister took me to the hospital. The emergency rooms knew my name. I had been to every one over 100 times. They said, oh, that's just Cherie Owens. Sit her over there. Because they couldn't believe what I was feeling was real, but what they was testing wasn't. So, I mean, I had so many hospital bills, so many. And I would go out. My girlfriends didn't like being a friend because the paramedic came to the restaurant, the disco, wherever I was. And that's how my life was. And then I just decided I didn't want to live. I ate potato chips for 1 year, and I drank Pepsis for 1 year. I took a bag. My family didn't even know I was spitting in a bag. I would sit there and eat Thanksgiving and Christmas, and nobody knew I spit in the bag. I couldn't swallow because he strangled me. I didn't know how to swallow, but I hid that from my family. And the thing is, I was a straight-up virgin. All my girlfriends knew it growing up. They all knew I was a virgin because the boys didn't want me around because I wouldn't let them mess with me and stuff like that. I was a virgin. I had said, I'm going to wait until I'm 18. I was a virgin. I was straight up a virgin. And I'm telling and I didn't write that book because it would have been fake anyway, because I was saying I wasn't doing it the way I really felt. Like I wanted to say, his big, black, nasty hands touched me. That's how I'm talking now. I'm telling the real story in the book now. See, I was trying to make it sound cute. I'm cutting raw in that book now. And I'm a cutting raw sister. Because, once you've been through all that, what else?
You got no time. You don't have time for playing. You got to just tell it like it is. I have a question. What made you keep the rape inside? Did you feel embarrassed, or did you want to continue on protecting your family, or both?
Well, it wasn't that, because he had already told me if I go back home, he'd kill my family. And he literally called that house. When I went upstairs to go to bed, he called the house. And I remember my sister said, telephone. I got on the phone, and my dad picked up the phone. And I'm going to tell you the truth, my dad at that time had a drinking problem. So you know how your parents make sure they ain't drinking and get to you or nothing. So she was telling me, my mom made sure I go up to bed. And then when I took when he called, and when he was on the phone saying to me, "Oh, you didn't believe when I said I'd kill you?" I said, "At this point, I die before I be with you." And my dad, he was drinking. He picked up the phone. He said, "Get off that phone. What did you, a slut or something?" And I just panicked. And I just said, "I never tell nobody. I never tell nobody." And then one day, about a week later, my brother and sister, they was playing fighting, and my brother put his hands on her neck like he was strangling her, and I started screaming. I scared both of them. They looked, and I said, "Call the paramedics, I'm dying." See, I didn't know I was going to be flashbacking, and the secret inside of me was going to try to kill me, because that secret inside of me made me spend my life in hospitals. From that point, that was the first day the paramedics called. That week, about 10 times the paramedics was called. So
wow.
Then every week it was like that. When I moved, when I had my first baby, paramedics was called every night at my house. And if the paramedics were called, I was at the emergency room. And then I never slept at night, so I prayed all night. I prayed all night because I couldn't sleep at night, because the devil told me he was coming to get me. See, that spirit, it was a spirit, a demonic spirit deposited in me, because you got to remember, all the men that slept in me, all these spirits was in me. Mm-hmm. And until you spiritually denounce them and decree that everybody, daddy, uncle, whoever they had, and I'm telling in my book that when he raped me, he didn't just rape me, he raped me in every hole there was. And see, you get saying to tell us, but I'm so excited to tell it, because I hid it so long, and every time I tried to put that book out, God would let something go wrong. He said, "Because you ain't putting the truth out."
She said he wants it real, because you know exactly how you're feeling at that time. So he is ready for you, because I know I would buy that book, because you're showing us, in spite of what you've gone through, and the fact that you were almost really killed by your kidnapper, God had his hands over you. And just to know that you served a survivor in kidnapping, that's unheard of. Really, it is.
And you know what? It's funny, after all these years, a man bumped it. I was telling my kids about it. I just told the security guard at the mall about it, where I had my salon. And right after I told them, I'm writing a book about it when I was 16. And I said, in that book, it's talking about, I said, if I ever seen him, if he act like he didn't remember me, I was going to kill him, whether I was in God or not. And all of a sudden, right after I told my whole salon that, it was 12 of them, and my kids, a guy bumped into me and say, "Do I know you? You're cute, lady. Do I know you? You look familiar." I said, "I'm writing a book about you." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm writing. Think to yourself, why would a 16-year-old be writing a book about you? After all these years, I bump into this rapist. After all these years, and then he tell me I'm cute and say I look familiar. Do he know me?" And I told him, "You're going to remember me." And it was just so happened my kids and everybody was there. They all here now. They was there, and they was all in the hall of this mall, and he walked backwards, and I told him, "Your mother died and you didn't go to the funeral. Your daughter is ran away as of today, right now. You got high blood pressure. You cut a hole in the wall and fed your wife." He said, "How did you know all this?" I told him I got with the mafia. I was going to make sure you was that. I was going to make sure you died. I said, but I wasn't going to let you die by gun. I could have been to shot you. I just saw you. I could tell you everywhere you didn't live. And he said, so I said, but I said, I slept with a guy in the mafia because I wanted to get you killed. Well, he tricked me. He didn't kill him. I said, but I could have got you myself. But I didn't want you to die that way. I said, you was going to be in a basement. Remember that movie, Foxy Brown? I was taking I'm talking about in my book, every fingernail was going off.
Wow.
Everything about you was I was going to let you know what it was like to let almost 100 men. I stopped counting, so I say I exaggerate the numbers after 50. You know what I mean? And you know when you don't know how to count no more. And I told him I always had a plan to take you and tie you down in a basement and let you know what it's like to be raped by all the men. And then I would say I was going to pluck you. I'm telling in my book, people don't want that book because I'm telling the truth in the book. I mean, you can't lie.
You cannot lie. No. Come on.
I had my own way I was going to get him, and I ain't crazy neither. But I had my own way.
I know. Yeah. I mean, hallelujah.
God saved me in between that going to prison. That even though they let me go the next day, but I had sat there a year. I came out of prison saved, and I never looked back. I told him, you better thank God that he got a hold of me before I got a hold of you. So.
And now you're here with a wonderful family support and great success on so many different books. And you also have a radio station, too? Like, whoa, you're just so amazing.
No, I don't have a radio station. I used to be on 1560 in Wisconsin, but I am going to eventually go back to the radio or television. So I got my own Girl Live show. I started on Facebook, but I have been offered to do it on the. Well, I didn't never do the podcast. I just did my own Girl Live, but I did get offered about 5 times to come to Now Television. Somebody contacted me recently last year and wanted to give me 25 television stations. I turned it down. That ain't my dream. Television ain't my dream. You know,
I'm shy.
I don't want. That ain't my dream. You know, I know I'm gonna be a billionaire one day, but television. You know, being on television is one thing. I don't mind coming to television, but I don't want to do what y'all do. You know what I mean? I do know who I am and what I want to do, and it's not. I love hosting the She Smile nonprofit organization, I'm very excited about what God is doing in ministry, and I'm looking forward to great things that way. But television, that's too much energy. You have to monitor people. That ain't me. That ain't my dream. That ain't my vision. I'm a faith woman. I know exactly what I want.
You stay in your lane. I'm like you on that one. So, you know, you are just so amazing. I mean, your story is just like, wow, very unique. Never heard of a story like this ever. And you have this joy. You have accomplished so many wonderful things academically, spiritually. And my question is, what are some of the hobbies that you like to do for yourself? What are some of your hobbies?
Okay, I'm a skater.
Oh, really?
Oh, girl.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Skate for real.
I believe you. I mean, I tried to skate back. You know, I haven't skated since high school. I thought you never forget, but when I tried, I fell. So maybe you gave me the push to go try it again because I love to skate back in those days.
When you in Atlanta, give me a call. Girl, let's go skating. Okay.
Okay. I'll be there this summer. I will have to do that. Because, so you know how they do the backwards and, the fly, the ATL movie? That's you, huh?
Girl, when me and my husband met, one thing we had in common, we both were skaters. He was from Chicago and I was from Milwaukee. And we both knew how to skate real good. Yes, I'm a skater. I have brought me some good skates because I can skate really good, and then I'm a hairstylist, so I love fashion.
Okay.
I love beauty. I'm a hairstylist. I've been a hairstylist for 30 years, and so I do hair. I did many hair shows and stuff like that. I've won some, and then my dream before I had got raped, though, my dream coming up as a kid, I always knew what I wanted to do when I was a kid. I always said I was going to be a nurse. And so my dream
You're never
to
too
be
late?
RN.
You're never too late?
No.
Oh, you want to do that now?
No. I went from being a nurse to a boss. I wanted to be a nurse if I was going to work a job, but I worked some nursing homes, and when I saw what they did, I got too involved with the people. So I just couldn't. I felt so bad for them. They didn't have families, and I would lose my job because I'd be in there modeling for them and doing all kind of
Yes.
stuff. Cause
I don't know how to separate that. You can't be emotional when people pass, or you can't feel sorry or cry when they're sad. So I'm with you on that. I'm too emotional to be a nurse.
I just didn't like them living there by themselves with no family. So my thing is, my part is, I tried to be their family. I brought choirs to the nursing home. When I would go out and party, I even invited everybody to the party. And when the guys got there, it was for one of my old patients. So I got too involved. It didn't work for me. I didn't want to see what they would do to the people. And I always said, my mom would never be no nurse home because I saw what they would do. And so I didn't, but I knew I wanted to be a hairstylist. I used to model, and that was my passion, modeling and hairstylist. That's what I wanted to do. And I always know I was going to be a boss. I always know I was going to own things and be an entrepreneur. And at a young age, I owned several salons. I'm actually looking for one here now. But I've always owned salons and I own daycares. I always knew I would be a boss and I would own my own stuff. I always knew that. I knew that from the kid. It was just in my head. It always was in my heart how to get to my next thing. I wear many hats because I don't just get stuck on one thing. So one thing don't work, I always believe I'm a strong woman of faith. I believe I could go after anything and God will do it. That's just where I am in my faith. I teach faith. Awesome. I got a faith boot camp coming up. And I'm teaching the 5 pillars of faith, how to deal with your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, and your faith walk in God, and how your blinded faith could get you anything you ever want in life. You got to just be okay with being blinded with it, because that's how God deals with us, with what we don't see and not what we see. So I'm going to be teaching a boot camp, Increase Your Faith boot camp coming up soon. Yeah.
I will definitely make sure I get in touch with you when I visit Atlanta because I love your spirit. Oh, Lord, my sister. What kind of legacy would you like to leave behind when God calls you home and you get your wings?
Well, to be honest, I spiritual legacy, and that did the same thing my mom left behind. I would want my kids to know they can do all things, a faith legacy, that you can always have whatever it is you want. You ain't got to rob nobody. You ain't got to take from nobody. You ain't got to be jealous of nobody. You could do all things through Christ who strengthens you. The legacy, and I thank God. Even with my children, I don't look for them to go to church. They beat me there. So, see, when you build your legacy when they're a child, the Bible says train a child the way it should go, so when they get older, they won't depart. And then the number one legacy I want to leave behind is they know they bosses. I raise bosses.
I like you. I like you.
You can have anything. My kids all know how to do hair. They know how to make money. If they don't make it, just because they don't want it. But I'm telling you, the legacy is always know you the head, not the tail. Don't let nobody belittle you, and don't let nobody make you think it's because you failed in something you can't win. I didn't graduate at 42 for you to lose. I did that for you to know you can win no matter what. Guys, you keep going and you keep pushing. You're a pusher. It's a pusher in you. So that's the legacy. They all know they have faith. Your faith will override anything your bank account. Your faith will purchase thing your bank account can't even purchase. So
come on now. Divine money. Come on.
Come on. See, you got to forget about the money and take your faith. Your faith will carry you where your money can't even.
Yes, it will.
Detach. You know. So that I teach you level faith, next level faith. You know. So if I make sure I give you the information for that boot camp. That boot camp alone and get people to their next level. When you read my book, Fresh Wind, it automatically get a person to their next level. It's one chapter I have in there. The third chapter is called The Finisher. It say, how can you start something you never finish? And how can you finish something you never started? And it talk about staying in your lane. See, I'm a person that like to just stay in my lane. You ain't got to copy nobody. You ain't got to be nobody. You be yourself. That's the legacy I tell my kids. What's in you is great. All you got to do is, reach inside of you, find out what's in you, find out what God, your purpose for God. I don't desire nothing but what God has for me. And what God has for you is for you, and ain't nobody can get in the way to stop it.
Wow. My sister, this won't be the last time you hear from me, but wow. How can people reach out to you to come on their radio show, or if they would like to come to your boot camps or support your nonprofit? How can they reach out to you?
Okay, they could reach me at global.move, MOVE, at yahoo.com, or my webpage is Dr. Cherie, Cherie, Sims, SIMS.com, or I also have a phone number I give out, 770.
Yeah, you said you also said that you're on Clubhouse. What's your Clubhouse name?
Oh, yeah. Now, Clubhouse, I host a pretty nice room at Clubhouse, a pretty big room at Clubhouse. I host the Hot Topics in Clubhouse by Dr. Cherie Sims. Hot Topics by Dr. Sims.
Okay, I will definitely make sure that I follow your room. And what's your name on Clubhouse?
Everybody call me Dr. C. I'm Hot Topic in the garage.
Hot Topic, okay. I'm going to look for you. And so...
And the way you spell my name with a C, Cherie.
Okay.
Hot Topic be cracking in the garage.
Oh, really? What days do you normally have it?
Actually, I was going to host the room tonight, but I'm not going to do it. But I'm doing one tomorrow. It's called Hurt People. Hot Topic in the garage is going to be on fire.
Wow. Is it PCH Hot Topics? Is that you?
You said PCH? No, I'm just Hot Topic.
I'm trying to figure out where you at. Okay, I'll figure it out. I'm going to figure you out. Where you at? Because I want to hear some of your hot topics. So,
if you text my number, that's 770-568-4057, I'll send a link to the hot topic in the graph.
I would do that. Oh, my goodness, my sister, I just want to thank you so much for this opportunity to get to know you more. I am blessed by this wonderful information. Oh, my. Jerry, do you have anything you would like to add? Because I'm still in awe about this.
Yeah, this is
kidnapping.
I know.
Woo.
It's frightening stuff when you're a dad, your children roaming around, think they're having fun.
Oh, I'm
people
that
watching. Yeah, it kind of reminds you of a lot of stories that you hear. I used to be in publishing. My family, we used to get these kind of stories sometime from guys that were, deep in the drug world and stuff. They used, they used to be high up in those crack houses, and they used to see a lot of this happen. Yeah.
This is my first interview with this Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm just like.
She definitely got to tell a story, though, because, parents got to be very, you can't be living paranoid, but you want to still kind of make your kids be aware, look, this can really happen, and you just vanish. Yeah, you just vanish.
Because you only hear about them on television, but just to listen to someone overcoming that, and then she had that vengeance, and she was able to overcome the vengeance, and now she's about to tell.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate, that she had gotten lost. I guess because missing her bus. I remember back in the day, you missed your bus that took you straight to your neighborhood. You kind of was on your own, on them city buses, and young ladies shouldn't be riding by themselves. Them guys, them predators they just be searching, they looking for
right.
You. Yeah, man.
To see who they gonna get to exactly. So right now, I'm very cautious when my girls walk. It's like, don't walk by yourself.
That's right.
I come get you because now it's really sex trafficking is really out there.
That's right. Get them that phone, call you, no matter what it is. You drop everything to go get them. That's right.
Exactly.
But did y'all hear the main thing? Predators could be anywhere. Because even though that happened to me, I said, I never let my kids. I wouldn't let my kids go nowhere, stay all night nowhere. I wouldn't let them do nothing but with family. And guess what? Guess who got my babies?
Family. Yep.
My
ex-husband,
brother got their niece. So guess what? Even when you thought you got away, it was right there.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful at all given time, no matter who it is.
Yeah, I remember one of my pastors said she would never let her children spend the night, because that's one of the things that was kind of popular when you live in those suburban areas, because the kids don't have a lot of people to play with in the neighborhood. Those developments, everybody just driving in their garage, don't know who their neighbors are. And, the kids start making friends with kids at the school. And next thing you know, they staying over their house for birthday party. You don't really know who's in those people's houses. You really don't know. And I remember my pastor said she would never let, and her daughter was on a basketball team, and that's pretty popular with sports, athletes spending the night over their teammate's house, but they don't know who their brothers and sisters and uncles and grandfathers are, because you hear about grandfathers, following their own granddaughter. So this is one of those kind of worlds, man. It's just, it's like that. People gotta pray, I guess. Be cautious.
I guarantee you, the rapists, they just be any and everywhere. I married at the age of 18, and I walked in. I got mad at my husband went across the street. My mom lived across the street. I stayed for a week. When I went home, I walked in my house, and he was in there raping a 14-year-old.
Oh, man.
So that guy, and that was his best friend, sister. So, it's just
that got to be a sick mind when you think you can get away with that,
Right.
You done it so many times that you're just comfortable with the act. So in other words, he must have done it over and over again.
Yes.
Yeah,
14 years old. I couldn't even be mad at her when I uncovered her and she was butt naked. I told her, I sat down and gave her my story. I told her I burned some grease and gave him 5 minutes to get out, to keep it real with her, because he was finishing school. But her, when he left, I let her sit down, and I made sure she got home, and I told her my story and told her her worth. I don't know what happened after that, but I know I did. That marriage got annulled. But at the same time, it's sad. It's sad that, they that was her brother best friend raping her.
Wow.
And she was 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, that wasn't his first rodeo. I'm sure of that. All right, ladies, we got to get out of here. Our time is up. But Dr. Sims, we appreciate you coming here and sharing your story. And don't forget, everybody, go out there and check out Fresh Wind, When Fear Knocks, Send Faith to the Answer. You can check out on Amazon. We'll post a link out there when we post the show. So thank you again, and we'd love to have you back. Amen.
Thank you. I'd love to come back. Just let me know when.
Amen. And then shout out to all of your friends and followers out there in our conference line. Of course, let them know they can catch this stuff live on our live link too. So we streaming overseas, streaming on the weekendchannel.tv. Look for streaming podcast. You catch all of our live shows 24/7. And immediately following the show, y'all can catch Pastor Dwayne and Kia Matthews out of New York. Their show going to be re-airing as soon as this one is over. So if you missed it, you'll be able to catch the show with the Devil Slayers. That's right, the pastors out of New York. Taking it down. All right, we got to get out of here. Take care, everybody, and thank you for joining us. Amen.
Wow. Thank you.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power, a devil inside.
Positive Power 21.org. Internet radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.
Hello people, greetings all the way from the motherland, Lagos, Nigeria, Africa. This your homeboy Popular, the Generous. Send a shout out to all you all with the love of Christ. I listen always to the Jerry Royce show, and I invite you to do the same. The best place to be. Hallelujah day. God love you, and I love you too.